Well, it wasn't getting battered.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, just ask you to be with this governing body, be with this community, be with our nation, Lord. Thank you for these beautiful, warm, 2 hot days you're giving us. And just pray that everything we do up here tonight is for the better of our community, and pray that the Dodgers give them all the help they need. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Okay, that was good. I'd look for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Ernst made the motion, Crystal seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Citizen comments. We've got a little disclaimer here. This is an opportunity for community members to speak for 3 minutes. It's not a dialogue. If you want to visit in detail and have questions on things, we're more than happy to do that. But it'll either be after the meeting tonight or anytime soon if we work for everyone. So with that, we'll go ahead and open citizen comments. First batter.
All right, here we go. Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. My name is Bobby Lawrence. I live on 3rd Street, and I have a concern about the new water line route. It's 8 foot from the base of my 80 foot tall, 6 foot diameter maple tree. Most of the weight is on the south side of the house, or I'm sorry, south side of the tree, which is right over the house. I actually brought some pictures with me to kind of illustrate that, and I can hand those up. I'll go ahead and talk first so I don't waste my time. Anyways, here's my big concern. The crew today cut a 4 foot deep trench, 8 foot roughly from the north side of the trunk, which I get. It has to happen. We need water. I love it. If we get a storm from the north, kind of like the ones that took out all the fireworks tents last year during 4th of July, well, that's probably going to end up on my house. My big thing is, I don't care about the tree. I mean, the shade's nice and everything. I mean, the house isn't even a big deal. My big concern is if that tree falls and my kids are in it, well, they're my kids. I talked with the Sedgwick County Extension Office this morning, and I'm sorry if I'm reading this, but I just want to get this right. And the Extension Master Gardener gave me this information this morning. From the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, as a general rule, 20% of the root system can be destroyed before the tree will show signs of injury. If 40% of the root system is lost, the tree will probably die and it should be removed because it's hazardous. According to the Arbor Day Foundation, cutting into the tree's roots, compacting the soil over roots, or changing the ground level around the tree during construction are 3 of the most common causes of tree damage or death. Arbor Masters has been called out, but unfortunately they won't be able to assess the feasibility of the tree till Wednesday at 11. This said, I humbly request that the city removes the tree if it is deemed necessary by the arborist, because the roots have been damaged to a point where they're no longer anchor the tree. This isn't about curb appeal or vanity. It's just about safety. Thank you for your time. And here are those pictures. And I actually spoke with a couple of you guys last week or the week before. I mean, nothing to respect you. Where do I need to put these? Sorry. But I mean, I just want to get things squared away.
Sure.
That's all.
Yeah, we don't know, so we appreciate you bringing this to our attention, so thank you.
And on a side note, it's kind of refreshing to see a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. It's been a long time since I've seen that. So
We do it
it's
every
nice to
week
see
here
that.
on visit.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else this evening?
Hi, my name's Jim Milligan, 1217 North Lake Edge Drive. I'm a member of the North Park Ad Hoc Committee as well as on the Planning Commission. I'm here to speak about the one of the items on the agenda, the proposed contract to Schaefer for design of the North Park, Phase 1A and 1B. I just wanted to speak to one, what a great choice. I think what a great choice Schaefer is. We read through 6 different iterations or six different proposals, all from well-qualified firms. Schaefer was our unanimous decision. They have the experience, the team to do a great job to give us the North Park that I think the city needs. That's the second part of what I wanted to talk about, was just to promote the North Park itself. I think it's definitely a need for the city. We've got Linear Park, which is great, but the north side of town has gotten a lot of development. At the corner there where it's supposed to go, there's 3 very large established neighborhoods, the south and the east, full of kids, hundreds of homes. There's Elk Ridge just to the north. There's a few other neighborhoods planned for the north and the east. Park is a very nice asset to the city. Some things the city supports or gets monies to can only serve certain parts of the community. Say we pave a road, that's great for the people who get their road paved. Doesn't necessarily help everybody else. A park is something everybody can enjoy, whether you're a newborn going on a walk, whether you're a toddler climbing a hill, whether you're a senior citizen enjoying the birds or taking a walk around the park as well. It's a good asset for the entire community. And as a member of the ad hoc committee, I take a lot of time to speak to my neighbors, speak to people around town, to see what they think about it. And it's a very good hit. It's something the city of Goddard's been waiting for and really neat. So I look forward to hopefully seeing this contract get approved tonight and see what Schaefer comes up with. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Anyone else? No, we'll keep things moving and we'll move on. Next item on the agenda, item E, conflicts of interest. This time give the council an opportunity to declare any conflicts for communication that they might have had this last week or in the week gone by that would influence their ability to consider any of these agenda items impartially. No. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Next item on the list, consent agenda. If you've had a chance to look through those things, I entertain a motion to have the consent agenda approved.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Naomi's made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Aubrey seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. No unfinished business. Well, that's a fast one. All right, new business. Here we go. Number 1. It's nice of Jim to set you up with this as an intro.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and City Council, Craig Crossett, your City Administrator. Very excited to present this new item of business for you, the Architectural Engineering and Construction Administration contract of North Park. So As many know, the Goddard citizens and the ad hoc committee have been working along with the staff and the governing body to advance the North Park project since we acquired the 9 acres. It's there at the southwest corner of 183rd Street in Maple. We purchased that property in 2019. However, as far back as 10 years ago in planning documents, there are references to this project. In late 2023, we contracted with professional engineering consultants to work on the master plan as well as the community visioning. They provided us with a partial schematic design as well as the full master plan for the park. The deliverables from that contract with PDC were completed and accepted early winter of last year. It included community-informed layouts, cost estimates encompassing the amenities, the indoor-outdoor play area, pavilions, yard games, food truck parking, pedestrian paths, dog park, and pickleball courts. We call it Phase 1A and 1B. Again, it included an engagement initiative with our community to ensure that the master plan aligned with the community's vision for the park. We had 4 community events, and we gathered input from over 500 attendees. 2 of these events were open to the broader public at the community center here on Main Street. And then 2 of the other events were held at the school districts, so we could have feedback from students of all ages, their parents, the faculty. We also utilized an online survey. So one of those events at the school, that was at Discovery, when they were having kind of their orientation night, all the kids come to school to figure out where their classrooms were. We had some really awesome encounters there to learn a lot about what the kids wanted to see for the park. We also were at the State of the District, which was basically all teachers, faculty, and then parents of students and other district stakeholders, and we had an opportunity to engage with them as well. So really we got a really nice, diverse set of opinions from members of our community. So to carry the momentum forward, the city initiated a competitive process to select a qualified architecture and engineering team to complete final design development, construction documents, permitting, and construction administration for this first phase here that we're packaging as 1A and B. As the speaker earlier mentioned, 6 qualified firms interested in this work submitted proposals. A key part of the selection process was the involvement of the North Park Ad Hoc Committee that the City Council appointed earlier last year. It's a citizen-appointed advisory board that was established to represent public interests in the park's development. The committee reviewed all the submitted qualifications from the 6 firms, conducted interviews of the top 2. We had plenty of feedback from city staff regarding the design approach, experience, and alignment with community values. The recommendation of the committee played a central role in who we have identified as the winner of that competitive process, which is Schaefer Architecture. We believe they're the preferred team for the desired services. So the purpose of this agenda item is to consider awarding a contract for this needed work to Schaefer Architecture. You guys remember we began advertising that RFQ with your approval during the March 3rd council meeting. It included all the detailed required scope of services. Again, we had a lot of interested firms in this work, all highly qualified. These proposals were very comprehensive, so that's why we started this at the beginning of March, but we're just now here, middle of June, having this conversation with you. A lot of due diligence went into the process to land where we're at today. So Schaefer's proposal demonstrated extensive experience in park and civic design throughout the state. They had a strong in-house and partner capabilities in landscape architecture, civil work, project management, and we thought that their phased approach aligned with our goals, which emphasize budget efficiency and construction sequencing as priorities. So looking at the financials, the proposed fees were submitted with each proposal. We had a matrix that we ranked all of these firms with. There was different weight attributed to each category. Cost was on the lower end as far as the weight was concerned. What we were most concerned with was just the quality of the proposals and the experience of these teams. The fees range from $241,000 to $353,000 as an estimated percentage of the total cost of construction, which is $4.47 million. What we found was some of the proposals that had the lowest fees, they did not include all the required services, and they would have required some of the services as an a la carte extra cost. So Schaefer's fee was 7.5% of the total cost of construction, as well as 5% of the cost of playground and furnishings, for an estimated amount of around $330,000, again based on that construction budget of $4.47 million. At this point, our plan is to utilize a construction manager at risk, CMAR, project delivery method. We like this option because it will give the city complete control over the competitive bidding and open book pricing for all the subcontracted work, as well as the ability to work direct with playground equipment and furnishing suppliers. That way we can ensure cost control of the project as a whole. So the way the fees are set up with the design firms, including Schaefer obviously, is we wanted a fee percentage of the total cost of construction. And the way we can control budget to make sure that, you know, the total cost of the construction doesn't get too high is through this, you know, competitive bidding and open book pricing for the subcontracted work. So working with our chief financial officer, we have identified that Schaefer Services will be covered by the capital outlay discretionary line item, which would then be reimbursed later in the year whenever we get the tent note proceeds to finance the construction of the project. So we worked with our city attorney's office, Morris Lang, who approved the contract seen in the agenda packet to its current form. And so at this point, staff's recommendation is that you move to authorize either city staff or the mayor to execute the contract with Schaefer, seen attached in Exhibit A. We also included their proposal. As a part of their proposal, they had some construction sequencing and strategies that could assist with some cost efficiencies. We're going to continue to work through some of that. So what you saw in their proposal, you know, those were their ideas of some things we may consider. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what we're going to do. If this is approved tonight, we would work over the next several months with Schaefer, key members of city staff, and the North Park Committee to really kind of get that final design ironed out. And then there'll be a couple of touch points with city council to make sure that you guys are aligned in approval of, you know, the direction that we head once we get a final cost established. So, and a final design, that is. One of the beauties with the CMAR construction delivery method is there'll be a point as we move forward where we will seek a general contractor who will be the construction manager at risk. Getting them included in the design process ahead of time will limit the opportunity for variables or change orders in the future, provide some more clarity because the folks actually on the ground doing the work will be involved in the design process. So at that point, once we get the CMAR brought in, we will get a little bit further along and establish what's called a guaranteed maximum price. That'll come, you know, in the next month or two as we get into design, and that's when we're kind of setting that top number and we're working from there to see, you know, what's the most we can get for that guaranteed maximum price. So there will be several times where we're coming back to council along the way to check in with you guys on design. We're going to be, you know, seeking proposals from general contractors that want to be the CMAR or the construction manager at risk, that is. You guys will have to approve that. And then again, we'll be bringing to you also probably the results of the subcontracted bidding. So the council is actually going to be quite involved just to ensure cost accountability, transparency, and that, you know, what the staff and the committee and the architect come up with are things that the council is comfortable with as well. So at this point, if we were to get this approved tonight, our goal would be to begin some phases of construction by the end of the year. So we are working with some grant opportunities, so there's some restrictions there. We're also continuing to aggressively fundraise, and we're really pleased with the results in that regard thus far. So with that, I'd be glad to take any questions. I would say that Matt Hand with Schaefer Architecture, he's a local Goddard guy. We kind of appreciate the opportunity to have someone working on this, maybe with some skin in the game and some extra pride. He said he's going to walk out there, you know, after work. You know, maybe we'll get an extra few hours out of him since, you know, he'd be leading a project where he was born and raised. So that might be some bonus points as far as bringing Schaefer along. So, Matt, do you want to share anything with the council?
Well, I would just say we really appreciate this opportunity. Yeah, I would just say on behalf of Schaefer and our team, it's not just our team, it's engineering firms, Baughman Engineering, and several others that be part of the team. On behalf of them, I really appreciate this opportunity to do this special project. And everybody's got it.
I was actually wondering who that young lady sitting next to you was.
Well, that's my mom.
Very good.
Mrs. Mann, the matriarch, right? The matriarch of the family. I didn't know she would be here. I have a lot of pressure. I'm sweating here, you know. No, but yeah, we just want to say thank you for trusting us on this, and being a part of a project like this in your own hometown is very special. So we're going to do our very best work for it. So thank you very much. Any questions that you have for me?
It's nice to know that your mom's gonna be around, keep an eye on you, make sure you get it done right.
Well, she's really close to the job site, so I may just give her a hard hat and, you know, get her out there. And
Inspector 12, you can
Yeah, maybe so.
give her a sticker.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Any questions?
No, not at all. I moved to authorize city staff and mayor to execute the contract for Shaver Scene Exhibit A.
Prince made the motion, Krista has seconded that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Motion carries, thank you. And thanks to all the work of the ad hoc committee and your group and friends, tell them thank you. Appreciate you coming in tonight and speaking and addressing this too. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jim.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about the I-2 agenda item, the 167th speed limit reduction. This is going to be for the area of roadway between Maple and US 54 on 167. So the City of Goddard previously authorized a street speed study for 167th Street from US 54 to Maple Street in response to concerns regarding traffic flow and public safety along the corridor. You can see the map on the right kind of explains, obviously north is up. You have the schools on the right hand side, which is in the city limits of Wichita. Right up to the center line of 167th, and then on the left side of the map is City of Goddard. The study was conducted by the professional engineering firm Trans Systems. The engineering and traffic investigation concluded that a posted speed limit of 45 miles per hour is the most appropriate and safe speed for this segment of 167, based on observed travel speeds, roadway design, traffic volumes, and safety metrics. The engineering and traffic investigation can be seen in Exhibit B, which you have attached. Pursuant to the findings and recommendations of the study, the resolution attached, it adopts the 45-mile-an-hour speed limit along the specified segment. There's already some 45-mile-an-hour speed limit for northbound 167th approaching Maple. This will include everything along that stretch. It specifies that the new speed limit shall take effect upon the installation of the appropriate signage, and City Administrator Craig Crossett has been working with City of Wichita and Public Works as far as getting that logistically worked out so it's smooth and there's no question for the motorists. Public Works Department is coordinating with City of Wichita so the 45-mile-an-hour change can occur simultaneously for both north and southbound traffic on 167. There's just a small expense for the signage approved as to form for legal considerations, and the recommendation is for the City Council to adopt the resolution attached in Exhibit A to reduce the speed limit on 167 between US 54 and Maple to 45 miles an hour.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution attached in Exhibit A to reduce the speed limit on 167.
I think first we need to have a motion to waive the reading of the ordinance.
It's actually a resolution.
It's a resolution, so it's not an ordinance. Okay, very good. Just want to make sure we do it right.
Between US 54 and Maple to 45 miles an hour.
Okay, Naomi's made the motion.
I second.
Krista seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Good job, Chief.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, this is I3 Arbor Creek South Territory lease. Okay, quick background. Very slow. Okay. The Rural Water District, number 4, serves a large area in and around Goddard. This service area gives the rural water district the right to provide water services to homes in that area unless someone requests to be released, usually due to annexation and desire to have city water and fire protection, fire hydrants. Rural water district number 4 does not provide fire protection, so this comes up quite a bit when developers want to put in a new residential development. Since rural water district number 4 won't provide fire hydrants, they'll say, hey, can you guys annex us? Because then if you provide city water, you also provide fire hydrants for fire suppression. Every time development is proposed in the district, they can either pay to be released from the district directly or have the cost to be released specially assessed to the development. The agreement allows the city to place infrastructure in the district to serve the new development. The release agreement will release the whole development, but payments will be done by phase on a per lot basis. And so developments are usually done incrementally with phases. Like let's say if you have 100 lots, maybe you'd have one phase be 30 lots, and the second phase be 30 lots, and the next one be the remainder of the lots, etc. And so the increments will be payment per lot for that phase. So if they do 30 lots at a time, we'll give them a lump sum for those 30 lots. City Council is reviewing a release document for the rural water district to be able to serve Arbor Creek South with city water. So the orange is the rural water district number 4. Blue is the city limits of Goddard. Arbor Creek South is the little yellow star. So anytime a development falls in the city limits within this orange area, let's say as we grow, for example, this development over here, this one over here, Arbor Creek, Trails End, Bridger, Maple, etc., we have to work with the rural water district to kind of release that territory and say, hey, we're going to serve them with water. And the city attorneys have advised us to kind of allow developers to take that lead, and then of course we will hold their hand during that process and make sure that the rural water district actually approves that release form, and then usually they'll want to special assess that. So we'll make sure that we have the money within our petitions, and then we'll pay it out incrementally as development proceeds. So as you can see, they have a big area, so as we grow, it's very, north and south, we're probably going to hit the rural water district pretty much almost every time. As we go west, then we have a better opportunity to not actually hit them and offset that cost, and need to offset that cost. Obviously, this boundary doesn't mean it's static. It'll change over time. It's possible for it to change over time. And City Attorney Ryan Peck is obviously here. If you have questions about who wins in a legal debate about serving, then he can answer those questions, but the short answer is usually the rural water district's going to win if we have to go to litigation. So it's much easier to work with them directly and partner with them and say, hey, we would prefer to just release it and do the special assessment process at this dollar amount. Click. All costs associated with releasing the district will be taken from temporary notes from the project unless the developer wants to pay out of pocket. They've paid out of pocket before too, so it just depends on if they want to have their specials higher or lower and what their price point is when they want to sell real estate. Legally, it's approved as the form. It is recommended City Council approve the mayor to sign the form to release the service area for rural water district number 4 as it pertains to the Arbor Creek South development. But we do have Harlan Foraker here. He represents the city for engineering as well as rural water district number 4. We have Ryan Peck, city attorney. And if you guys have, Craig's got a lot of experience in this himself, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask at this time.
Pretty straightforward. I think we've seen this a time or two.
Yeah, it definitely comes up. You saw the orange area, so it comes up and you'll see a lot more of them.
Yeah. All right. No questions?
Yeah.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the rural route 4 pertaining to Arbor Creek South.
Thank you. Brent's approved the motion. Is there a motion? Aubrey seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is item I4. This is the Garber presentation, Goddard Trails End Phase 2 concept. I don't know if Garber's here. Do you have Garber here? They said they'd be here. All right, scrap this whole project. No, I'm just kidding. Without them, I guess we'll
He's getting ready for the basketball game. It's just tip-off time.
Garber was at the planning commission meeting last week. They did say they didn't want to be here, but if you do have questions and follow up, feel free to reach out to Craig directly, and then we'll see if we can get Garber on the phone, and then maybe let me answer some questions to you guys directly. But April 14th of 2025, the planning commission reviewed and approved the preliminary and final replat of the Goddard Trails End development. On April 29th of 2025, the city council approved the final replat. Since that time, the developers have considered the possibility of introducing modified single-family homes on smaller lots to accommodate more growth and density in the development, and to introduce a new type of market, a new type of housing into the market. This would require another replat of the area along with a variance request for minimum lot sizes and setback reductions. So the City Council is reviewing a preliminary concept to be proposed by the developer to replat a portion of Gauder Trails End development to introduce additional lots for single-family development. So the original plat, as it stands right now, is 57 lots remaining. The new plat would introduce about 22 additional lots for a total of 79. So they're introducing an additional 22 lots. The lot sizes are about 40 or 45 for a width by a depth of about 80 to 100. The variance request for lot reductions would be from 50 to 40 with lot square footage reduction, as well as a variance request for setback reduction. 0 lot line on one side with 5 feet on the other. 1 unit will lay maybe on the lot line. It depends on how they want to introduce those single family units. So this is the original plat as it stands right now. They want to take the blue area on the north side up here, and they want to replat it with this layout over here. And that kind of got washed out a little bit, but you can see they introduced some hammerheads over here, this hammerhead layout, and then the introduction of an additional 22 lots. We try to introduce a fiscal impact analysis, if I can click, there it is. So we try to use this matrix moving forward with all developments now, so you'll see it again. You'll see blue, you'll see green. I'll try to keep the color scheme the same. I'll try to explain any differences in the cost matrices, and if you guys have any questions, just feel free to stop me at any time. But basically, we took the new replat that they were proposing, which was the one on the right, and we punched it into our matrix, and we said, okay, over 35 years, how much is this going to cost us over time for maintenance, and how much revenue would we get with the new layout? Let's say, hypothetically. There's a lot of variables in there. You guys saw this, you've seen some assumption reporting that we've done, so based upon that, we were determining that assuming about 44 lots at 230,000, 35 lots around 300,000, we'd have a net negative impact of about $1.4 million. So we're still net negative even with the replat, even with the new proposed development. But the existing development, if we didn't do the replat, assuming 57 lots would be around $300,000, even though we have seen some come in recently. We had 2 new building permits submitted at $425,000, so there's some flexibility in here. Upon review of the last phase, assuming 300,000 each would have a net negative impact of 1.8 million. So if we replatted it, we would gain about $313,000, but we'd still be net negative. And so this offsets a little bit of our net negative impact that we would have. So the question comes up, what kind of houses could actually fit on a lot that small? So there are some concepts out there. These were submitted by the developer of concept renderings with lots that were smaller, 40 by 45 by 100. And yet what you can see here is they look like a traditional house, but there's a breezeway in between them. This separation here with the lot line separating them is about 2.5 feet on one side and 2.5 feet on the other for a total of 5 feet. So you do have that breezeway here. It's mostly rock. There's no room for anything really to grow between those two buildings. But squeezing it together like that allows them to spread the specials further. So when you have a certain amount of cost and liability, introducing more lots means that you can spread the specials further and still try to be within that market and the range for actually being able to move the real estate. Typical development, you want to move about 30 houses a year. If rates become too high, the 30-year mortgage is too high, houses slow down, they're going to try to drop the cost. In order to drop the cost and still absorb specials, the lots usually have to get smaller. So this is very typical, just urban economics. So this is what they're proposing. Simple on this range.
What kind of square footage do they have? Are they
1,300? Yeah, somewhere around there.
Then go back to your matrix there.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the roads, that's with asphalt. What would that look like with concrete?
Couldn't tell you. I'd have to run a different matrix to see what that would look like with concrete.
It might be good to maybe take a look at that, because I think in some places the concrete might last longer and you might have less net expense over the length of time, depending on. And if it cracks up, if there's an earthquake or something, then you're going to mess with that. But I mean, I like that concept. I think it's important for us to look at that. And if you think of the tradition of what we've done in the past in Goddard, the way we've adapted is we just haven't spent the money on the roads. So one of the things we've done with this year with our 5 and 5 program is we've instituted a process in applying funds towards taking care of things that need attention that nobody cares about until it crumbles. So I just thought I'd those two things, I think it'd be interesting to see what concrete would look like on that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see a cost comparison on that. We can definitely take a look at that.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would just add, so what staff's looking for tonight is if you guys would generally feel comfortable with giving Micah, who will then share this with the agent of the applicant, but basically a consensus that when this plat comes to you, that you guys would feel supportive of it, not asking you to make any promises, but they're going to be investing time and money into this, and so they'd like a little bit of a temperature check, so to speak. And then on the variance would only go to planning commission, so you wouldn't take action on that, but you would the plat.
Yeah, so the recommendation is only deliberate and advise Garber, who's not here, so I'll have to pass it on any of your sentiments towards the projects, concerns, or general sentiment.
One other question.
Yes.
On that, on the map, there's that large rectangle along
Yeah, let me go back to
215.
it. Sorry, the clicker's a little slow today. I think it's battery lagging. There you go.
See that? Is that just going to be a retention pond clear on the west on 250?
Right here?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's a detention pond.
Mayor, could I make one more observation while Mike
Sure.
is on this map? So we actually saw an iteration of this phase 2 that included those 2 or 3 undeveloped cul-de-sacs further south. And if they had designed this replat to include those 40 by 80 lots on all of those as well, this project would have actually provided a net gain to the taxpayer of over $800,000 instead of losing 1.4 or 1.8 million. So it just speaks to the value per acre analysis and why residential density is a good play. Juxtapose, wide open spaces, big houses on big lots.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, that's one of the things we talked about is having single-family lots.
Yeah, and it's one of the things they came at us last year, I think. Was it last year they came at us? Wanted duplexes and we turned it down. And they came with a single family, so I'm for it. This is single family. I'm okay with shrinking the lot size.
Yes,
Can I interject one thing? With
Sure.
the smaller lot size, utility layout becomes very critical. Evergy wants to be in the front, so water's got to be in the front, and sewer typically has got to be in the front.
Yes.
So I would like to see, as part of the development process, a utility layout, not only with the public utilities, but the private utilities, so, we know those are all being coordinated. Evergy, Kansas Gas, all those.
Yeah, so we would work, Harlan can work directly with Garber, he's very familiar with Kennedy and Eric Glover and everyone else, and so we can certainly coordinate that during the planning process. They would have to show those on easements, and so the question of cohabitating, as Harlan's referring to, private and public infrastructure within an easement, we'd want to be sensitive to that, for sure.
You could go back to one of the renderings of the model homes that shows, okay, this space right here, Evergy ran into a problem in West Wichita in a development. They couldn't get to the back to serve, get their utility through there. So that's why they're adamant about having Evergy in the front. I believe that's what that green box might be. There's an Evergy junction box.
It might be, yeah.
The other thing we want to look out for is that every X amount of houses, there is a way to get to the rear yard, whether it's for public safety or if there were a utility, but the front and rear yard setbacks are not getting any smaller, it's just the side yard. So there should be just as much room for utilities as there would be if it were an 80 by 100 lot.
It's all good information.
It is, and those are things that Micah and I have talked a lot about, unintended consequences, and we want to make sure that the types of things that Harlan is bringing up are not overlooked when we take these types of new ideas on from an urban planning perspective.
And I just want to say I really like the cost analysis worksheet. I know when I was doing my orientation, it took me a while to wrap my brain around all of this, but I really appreciate how hard you're working, because it is kind of a complicated process, understanding density and how it helps us pay for the future. But I think this is a great, instead of the duplexes, this is a great way to get after being able to do the single family homes, but still being able to make sure that we can pay for the things like fixing the streets and for our kids' future and forward. So I appreciate the way that you're breaking it out for me.
Oh, no, no
Or for all of
problem.
us.
You guys are always welcome to ask questions and stop in Craig's office. I'm happy to stop by if you guys have questions and help answer them as much as possible. There are a lot of assumptions. We just can't, the further you project into the future, the more hazy it gets. We can't say definitively it'll play out exactly this way. It's just, this certainly gives us better running space to work with, but I do appreciate that. Thank you.
It gives us something to think about, to understand why it's important
Mm-hmm.
for the city.
Aubrey, you're good with this? Sir. Kristen?
Okay.
Sounds like we're all pretty positive.
Okay, I'll pass on that sentiment to Garber.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
All right,
it.
appreciate that. Intro Public Works Director Nicholas Ball at the plate. Now, good evening.
So I am going to present a 5-year plan to continue the periodic cleaning of the sanitary sewer collection system. That is what we all know collects and transports our flushes to the wastewater treatment plant from residential, commercial, industrial facilities. Over time, the debris, grease, tree roots, other materials deposit and collect in the lines. These deposits can slow the flow and create a scenario for a sewage backup. The city is proposing preventative maintenance to identify and address any problems before they start. The lines are cleaned with a high power pressure jet of water that dislodges and flushes any debris down the line. The debris is collected in a basket down the line in the next manhole, so it doesn't just continue to carry on down. As part of the process, a portion of the lines are inspected by camera to give us a visual sewer line condition and identify any future problems. Manholes are also reviewed and checked for any maintenance concerns. The city in the past has run on a 5-year rotation cleaning schedule on the entire system, with 1/5 of the system being cleaned each year. The city would like to continue the maintenance plan and cleaning program with a plan for the next 5 years. So it would be pretty much starting, this is what we've already cleaned, it would pretty much be starting over and adding all the new developments that have been built in the last 5 years that have not been cleaned yet. So some of that is reflected in the linear feet, whereas before we were cleaning 31 to 34,000 linear feet. Now that's going up to 62 and 46,000 feet. The first year there is more linear feet, and that was because the cost that's introduced later on goes up. So that was kind of to save some money on the front end and hit some of those developments there at the bottom. Arbor Creek Rustic, Trails End, and there's a couple other little ones in there that are coming online that haven't gotten the treatment yet. The city is asking to continue the 5-year plan for maintenance and inspection of sanitary sewer lines. The maintenance will help prevent backups and overflows, along with helping maintain good operations at the waste treatment plant and to help keep debris from building up in the lift stations. The 5-year rotation system that was previously in place for sanitary sewer cleaning has worked well for the city. The new proposal would add in and include the sanitary collection system for the new developments. 5-year cleaning respectively, an aggregate commitment of $225,680 over the term. Expenditures will be paid on a pay-as-performed basis from the sewer funds, repair and maintenance utility infrastructure line. It is recommended that the City Council authorize city to execute contract with Mayor Specialties in the amount of $225,680 over the 5-year term. And there is a contract attached.
questions for Nick?
Well, you can tell he knows his stuff.
I prepared well, so fire
Yeah, you
something at
definitely,
me.
well, yeah, and then some of that was like, man, he's just totally using his own words. And I was like, man, he knows his stuff. So, yeah, I make a motion we approve.
Okay.
Brent's made the motion, Naomi seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Nick, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Moving on. City Administrator's report.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, it is my pleasure to bring to you some updates on city operations, projects, and future agenda items. Please make a note that our next council meeting will be next week on Tuesday. It's our third regularly scheduled city council meeting of the month. We always do it on the fourth Tuesday at noon. The mayor calls it the 60 minutes version of the council meeting. See also there we have several other council meetings coming up. We are getting ready to get into the fiscal year 2026 budget planning season, which we're all extremely excited about. Our chief financial officer has been working very diligently to put all the figures together. We've started sharing material with you guys already. Make sure you got all these on your calendar. All the senior staff will be there, as well as council. They'll be open to the public, and at the end of the budget workshops, it'll culminate with a community engagement opportunity so we can share the budget planning with the citizens. 2026 annual road work. The pre-construction conference is scheduled for June 24th. The construction is anticipated to begin in July. Just to recap on the work we're expecting, the 3rd Street full depth reconstruction from Walnut to 199. 1st Street, we'll finish that one up from where we left off last year with full depth reconstruction from Main Street to 199. There's also a long list of resurfacing projects, primarily in the St. Andrews addition. All of those will be occurring starting in July and through the rest of the year. The projects downtown will be inspected by city staff, Tina Powell. And we're really excited to get these going and continue with the 5 and 5 annual roadway program. The monument sign projects, we should see some construction going on next week, and the sign should be up the week of June 30th. We're continuing to work through the condemnation proceedings in Maple and 167th for that sign. The 183rd turn lanes change order, I'm told that the design work for that is done. We've already authorized the change order. We're hoping to see them out there, if not later this week, sometime next. We're going to try to get notice out to the public as soon as we have a firm date. I really don't want to not give notice, but also at the same time I don't want to delay getting the work done, because delaying getting that work done is holding us up from getting our traffic impact study at US 54 and 199 completed, and I think we're all looking forward to some improvements at that intersection. So this change order number 2 is the only thing in our way of getting that study going. The salt storage facility, I believe all the building materials have been delivered. The contractor has been instructed to pull their permit with the county, so we should see the salt storage facility being erected sometime in the coming days. Excited to announce that our new public works director has been hired. Jason Colley is his name. He's a certified public manager. He's got over 20 years of experience in municipal operations and infrastructure management. Jason brings a well-rounded technical and grounded leadership style to the city. He currently serves as the public works director for the city of Great Bend, where he manages a team of 40 full-time staff. His tenure includes leading a $2.6 million citywide automated water meter upgrade, overseeing a $2.2 million Kansas Department of Transportation cost share grant roadway project, and coordinating FEMA recovery efforts following severe weather events. His leadership has spanned nearly every corner of public works at the city of Great Bend, having previously served as utility supervisor, street department operator, and water department service technician. Jason holds numerous professional certifications. His OSHA 30, he's a certified construction inspector, a class 3 water operator, and he's been the public works director there for the past 5 years. Jason will begin his term of service with City of Goddard on July 7th. Speaking of Public Works, the Public Works Facility Project, per the outcome of our 10-year CIP process, we have started preliminary planning for the Public Works Facility Project. Our initial intention is to package the financing for this project with 110 note for the North Park and the water looping projects, with debt service coming from a variety of related sources of revenue. It's believed the project can be financed with current sources of revenue without requiring changes to fees or taxes. The project will be located on the city-owned property along 199th north of the Evergy substation. Hutton Design Build completed the facilities assessment in conjunction with Public Works staff, which included the preliminary cost estimates and a concept design for the project. We are still considering the construction delivery method, but it's likely we will bring Hutton in for a discussion with the City Council around the merits of design build. We would like to begin design of the pre-engineered building in July or August of this year, with construction began by the end of the year, completed in 2026. The water looping project, city staff and city engineer Harlan Forker meet this week to finalize the scope of work for the water looping project, which is also a product of the 10-year CIP process, as well as the water utility strategic plan provided by PEC. As mentioned, we intend to package the financing for this project with 110 note along with the North Park and Public Works facility. It's believed that this project can also be financed with current sources of revenue without requiring changes to fees or taxes. We'd like to begin engineering and design as soon as possible, with construction beginning by end of the year and completed in 2026. So as you can see, we're kind of starting to work towards center here on both the Public Works facility project, the North Park project, and the water looping project. A couple of other quick notes. City Hall will be closed this Thursday. Non-emergency personnel will be out of office in recognition of Juneteenth. I've got a few upcoming agenda items: a library board appointment, heavy equipment purchases, the 2025-2 note sale and bid acceptance. We are looking to revise our on-call and standby policy, the intent to exceed revenue neutral reg resolution, Rustic Creek Park development agreement, of course the budget workshops, and then the Girl Scouts are coming in to present. With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd be glad to stand for any questions or comments from the council.
It'd be nice to see the beginnings of the CIP projects. Spent a lot of time in the last year and a half in planning, preparation, studies. So now the fun stuff starts, and in this next 6 to 12 months, there's going to be a lot of change in this community because of the work and the effort that the staff's put in, and we're going to start running a little faster around here when things, you guys think they're busy now. But appreciate the report and the update.
Thank you.
Will there be cookies accompanying the Girl Scouts?
We've got a ton in the break room, so have your pick. But I'll ask.
I'll ask him for Brent.
Like I am.
Moving along here. You have any comments? Krista?
Thank you, Bobby, for bringing your tree to our attention. I'm not sure what will happen, but I'm glad we know about it, so thank you for speaking. Jim, for speaking on behalf of the Ad Hoc Water Committee and in favor of the North Park. We are excited about everything that will bring to the north side of Kellogg, so that's exciting. I have a new pathway at the end of my street that gives me access to Linear Park, which will make it much easier with grandkids and maneuvering bicycles and just walking, and I might walk to work now. I could have been doing that the whole time, but now I have a nice little path to the park. Nick, good job. Good job filling in. And thank you to the staff for putting everything all together for us. It's looking good.
Well, my first thank you, Bobby. Thanks for coming in. I always love it when there's issues and you come and talk about them so that we know that they're there. Jim, I know it takes a long time to serve on one of those committees. I just served on one for a while, so thanks for giving your time. I'm sure that wasn't easy. Nick actually, on my public works tour the other day, drove me by the site. It was the first time that I was actually there, and it's a beautiful site. I think there's, I like the pond that's there. I think it has so much potential, and so I'm super excited to see what Schaefer does and designs there, because there it is. it was the first time I was there, and I looked around and I'm like, there are a lot of houses here. And I think the north side just really needs something, a place to gather and be with their community. And so I'm super excited to see what that project is. So thanks to both of you for putting your time into it. The Public Works project, I'm so excited to hear that's over because, or that it's coming up, because Nick, like that tour the other day kind of blew my mind, and it was a great tour, but your building needs an upgrade so bad. I was like almost like a little bit emotional about how bad it needs it, and the conditions there. So I'm super glad that the CIP is kicking off, because you guys deserve a great place to work with all the work that you do. And I just wanted to say, I did, while we were driving around, I noticed all the awesome flowers and the way that Linear Park has, and I know that Russ and Shelby from Ace Hardware donated a lot of time and money. They donated all of those flowers and went and put those in with Neighbors United, and it just makes the park look really beautiful. So I just wanted to give, I know they're not here, but give Russ and Shelby a shout out for, and Ace Hardware for donating all of those and their time and their flowers for that. That's all.
Very good.
It's hard to follow all that.
You covered it all.
Girls said it all, didn't it? Staff, great job. Appreciate everything you do. I'm limited in words.
So what was the highest speed limit recorded?
I don't know, I would have to look through the papers. It might be in your packet there.
I think I was in there one day.
On the Wichita side, right?
On the Wichita side, yeah. Yeah.
No, related to Steve.
No, well, I mean, because when our 183rd was closed, there were some days,
Sure.
you know.
Just want to say thank you to the staff. Appreciate all your efforts. It's hard to believe that we're halfway through the month and halfway through the year. So 2025 is all downhill from here. So happy sledding. And with that, we'll move on to the next item. We have an executive session. Item L.
What's that?
How much time do you think?
We could probably do it at 20.
Ball game starts at 9. Yeah, that's good. All right. I'd like someone to make a motion here.
I make a motion to enter an executive session for consultation with the governing body's attorney to discuss privileged subject matter, including preliminary discussions relating to the acquisition of real property, KSA 75-4319B6, with the city attorney, city administrator, and community development director, with no action to follow, and the meeting reconvening at 8:20.
Very good.
Mayor, I know you have a motion on the table. I'm sorry to interrupt. Could we cut the community development director loose?
Please. Sure. We'll exclude him.
Excluding the community development director.
What the heck?
8:20.
8:20. That's the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Every second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll be back in 20 minutes. reconvene. Let the record show that there was no binding action taken during the time of executive session. And I believe that brings us to the call for adjournment. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Third.
Move second and third. All those in favor say yes.
Yes. 45.